right, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Cultivation Corner. This is our first episode. Can you believe that? We are finally here, you guys. Can you believe that?
I mean, I'm super excited about this. I don't know about y'all.
Oh, it's here.
It's here.
Finally.
It's here. It's here. Listen, for you guys who don't know us, if this is your first time, understanding who we are, my name is Steve. My YouTube is I Live Plants. You can find me on Instagram at I Live Plants, and you can also find me on what's the other thing I do? TikTok at I Live Plants. Okay. We'll put all of that in a little bit later. Let me introduce you all to Janeé and Richie. Janeé, why don't you start? What's up?
Steve,
Yes.
we're finally here.
Finally here.
It's some unexpected turn of events, but we're here. That's what matters.
Yeah.
And I'm Janeé from Janeé Simone on, both YouTube and Instagram. And then we have our wonderful Richie.
Richie, what's up with that mask, man?
I mean, I'm really not trying to go mug somebody or whatever, but you already know. For those that don't know me, my name is Richie. I have a YouTube channel called at Grow Folds, and also Instagram. I do faceless, and this is the reason why you are not going to see my face today.
He's not trying to rob you,
I'm
guys.
not trying to rob you. I promise you. But yeah, that's my Instagram and YouTube handle at Grow Folds, and I do big box store plant shopping videos on a daily basis.
Yo, you guys, we are so glad that you have actually clicked the button to view this thing for us. This means so much to us. Let me tell you one thing. We are going to present our first episode about how to start like a houseplant collection. You know what I mean? Like, what was it that really got you into it? What was your first houseplant? So, Janeé, I mean, like, your houseplant collection is extensive, and I know that you got some favorites, but really, what got you into houseplants? And
Oh, my goodness. So it started in 2020. My friends took me to a plant store. They're like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Okay, whatever, I guess." And then my friend, she actually bought me a red Maranta.
oh yeah,
And
those are so hard
it is.
I
That was
know
just-
you went straight for the kill.
Yeah, she picked it out, but then I didn't know what it was. I was just like, "Oh, it's pretty."
Yeah.
The red veinings. Anyways, I don't know. I fell in love with it, and then I just did a whole bunch of Google, YouTube, and all the things. And then I just not slowly. Honestly, when I first started, I was just buying everything.
yeah.
But I'm slowed down now. But that's how I started it. So
I
that
know, listen-
ignited my passion.
Listen, we always try to peer pressure Janeé to add into her collection every single time. She has, she's stoic when it comes to no, I can't do it, but we do try, don't we, Richie?
We really do. I mean, we try to plant fluence everybody
Oh, seriously.
All the time.
all the time. We always say you need it today.
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 Okay.
Yep, that's right. But Richie, your plant collection is beautiful as well. We had Janeé and I had the privilege of seeing it,
For like half a second,
for half a
right?
second.
Too fast.
The ultimate tease right here. You know what I'm saying when it comes to houseplant tours. But Richie, what got you started, man?
So I would tell you, what got me started with plants is basically my grandmother has always grown plants. I mean, if you watch my channel, I was basically influenced into just growing plants. I don't really remember my first plant, but I just know that I've acquired plants over the years. And it's one of those things where you just go to a store
Yeah.
and you find that one plant like this golden pothos right here, and then all of a sudden, you end up just buying more plants. And I think that's the topic of conversation for today is how do you start a plant collection?
Yeah.
How do you maintain a plant collection? And how do you get that joy from having a plant collection? Because plant burnout is real.
Oh, that's some
Yes.
real stuff, y'all.
So-
It really is. I mean, listen, one of the reasons why I actually started my plant journey and started a collection was it really helped with my mental health. I gotta be honest.
Yes.
You guys. Like there's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. I was in a situation where you guys, my job as a personal trainer, also work as a counselor. I have to constantly give motivation and be positive, okay? But what was going on inside wasn't so much. So I needed something that was going to root me to a place where I didn't pick up after 2 years and move to someplace else.
Yeah.
And I also needed a reason to open up my blinds. Like, believe it or not, like, the energy of the
So
sun.
you need that vitamin D, is
I
what
needed
you're
that.
saying.
I did. I needed that vitamin D, and I needed to really, because I could live. I used to be able to live in darkness, and there was nothing for me to do that.
Yeah.
So when I moved here to Dallas, because we're believe it or not, we're in Dallas, Texas, right? I don't
Yes,
think
we are.
we're in Dallas, Texas, and we're at Wayward Coffee off of Irving Boulevard. So if you guys want to check this place out, they got a whole bunch of plants around here.
Yes,
as well.
easy care plants.
Easy care plants as well. But when I moved down to Dallas, I said, okay, I got to stay here for a while. So what's going to make me stay here for a while? And I used to pass this nursery called Plant Keeper. I used to live in Bishop Arts, and I would pass it every other day, going back and forth to wherever I was going to the gym. Right, I lift plants. Right. One day I stepped in. I met this guy named Garen.
Hey, Garrett.
What's up, Garen?
Hey.
And I got my first plant from Plant Keeper right there.
What was the
And,
first plant?
It was an Aglaonema Chinese ruby, this evergreen right,
Right
here.
here.
That was my first. Now that's Richie's.
beautiful.
That's Richie's.
That's Ruby.
But mine is Queen Ramona. Okay.
Mine is Ruby.
Yours is Ruby. Oh my gosh, that's my first plant. And it started a birth of just really knowing that I'm taking care of something other than myself.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm selfish, I'm selfless like that. But it really did help,
So then I'll go ahead and ask you this. So since you did start with Plant Keeper and the Aglaonema, did you continually to progress like real fast collecting a lot more, or were you slowly, gradually
No,
collecting?
no. I was at Plant Keeper every 2 to 3 weeks. Garen can attest to this, and he actually he reeled me in a lot because I was going for the gusto, you guys. Like
Yeah.
I was trying to get plants
It happens to all of us.
right
Yes.
where you don't have any idea of how to take care of it.
Yep.
You don't know if you have the proper environment to that. And one of my earliest plants was a fiddle leaf fig.
That's a finicky. She's finicky.
That if you start off with that plant, she's gonna break your
Just like calatheas,
Don't start with the fiddle leaf.
And that's the thing though today, we talk about just how do you gradually go into plants. And so like my advice for people that want to start plant collection is number one, look at your daily lifestyle.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay? So when you think about your daily lifestyle, what does that look like? Do you have a really demanding job? What does that look like? Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Do you have a lot of obligations? Because plants may not be able to talk to you, but they sure will let you know if they're unhappy. And
Yeah.
oftentimes, and I can speak for a lot of people that are listening to us or watching us today, we send plants to plant heaven. I don't like to say that we kill plants; they just go to plant
plant
heaven.
heaven.
I
Where they
pawned that
live
off.
life.
Yes.
I pawned it off of Janeé, and that's the thing. Look at how your daily life is, and then like number two, I would say get into plants that are easy care.
Yeah.
And when I say about easy care plants, and there's a couple of criteria, and these are the things I would always tell people whenever they ask me for some advice, and I don't know why, because I'm just on the same board as everybody else. I'm learning as you go. Look for plants that are mostly drought tolerant, low light tolerant. Those are really the elements that you would look for. So like, plants that I would say you could start with that go into that category would be like Epipremnum aureum, the
Yeah.
golden
Totally.
pothos,
Golden
right?
pothos,
People
yeah.
will say that it's a basic plant, but that basic plant will give you a lot of joy. Aglaonema. So, we have Janeé. We all love Aglaonema.
Yes.
It's also known as the Chinese evergreen. People will tell you Sansevieria or snake plants.
Yeah.
For our viewers that are listening, feel free to chime into the comment section and let me know what easy care plant. So you want to start with one easy care plant. And then you also have to look at your space constraints, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Space
100%.
constraints, and then also your lighting conditions.
That was a big
Yeah.
thing for me because I had a north-facing window
See,
when I
you-
started.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had a north-facing
So
window.
you're not getting that much light.
Right, I was on the second floor of I think a 6-story building, and right across the street was another 6-story building. So
Oh, wow.
just to sort of like get a peak of sunshine wasn't happening. I mean, the sun
It's not
rises in
happening.
the east,
Yeah.
it goes all the way down south to the west. It never hits the northern part of our hemisphere over here, or above this equator line. Doesn't do it. So yeah,
Lighting conditions,
Light-
I would say lighting conditions, and then I would say once you bring in that plant, you should be satisfied with one plant because I already know we're all in the same boat. We go to like a big box store, a local nursery, or a friend gives us a plant, and we want to get the next plant. Or like
Yeah.
me, I'll pick up a golden pothos, but then all of a sudden I want to get the marble queen pothos. I want to get the neon pothos. I want to collect every single species.
Got 'em.
Got them,
Yep.
got them, and do this collection.
Collect
I'm going to
them
tell
all.
you, you got to catch them all, whatever you want to
It's like a
say.
Pokemon.
It's like Pokemon or something
It
like
really
that.
is.
Collector cards, whatever you want
Yeah.
to say. But it doesn't always lead to a successful way of growing a plant collection.
That's
You could disagree with me, but I always tell people, and I will ask the viewers this in the comment section, do you ever get so overwhelmed because you started out with one plant and then by the end of the month you have 100 plants?
Well, Janeé,
Yeah.
speak on that. Do you
Yeah,
think
because
Oh, yeah, it can happen. Plant burnout is real.
Yeah.
It has happened to me, especially, of course, life happens.
it always
Like,
happens.
Life, and not only does it happen, but it's consistently happening, regardless of work, jobs, family, relationships, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then plants for me has personally been something that I probably like took a back seat to. Lost some plants because of that. But so you just have to be like realistic with yourself. And if you are at the place where you are overwhelmed, know that like everything can't be done in just that day.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely
just that
not.
time. And don't say, oh, I need to water this plant. Let me water them all together. Or
Yeah.
care for whatever. Just do what you can, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just take it step by step because your mental health, your like everything like that, like it takes precedence than having to worry about, oh, let me do this or try to do it all at once. So yeah, just take it step by step.
Janeé, how long? When was the first time that you felt burnout from taking care of your plants?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I started collecting in 2020,
Yeah.
and then I want to say maybe probably towards the end of 2021, give or take.
About a year or so.
Give or
right?
take, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I went full force. Like, and I was being part of the Facebook groups,
Right,
Reddit
right,
groups.
Reddit,
They're like,
right.
hey, this plant's out. And I was one of the ones,
Hey.
let me go and check it out.
Yeah.
And then come home and I'm like, wow, this is a lot of plants,
Yeah.
Janeé.
And do you catch yourself, Janeé? And I think, Stephen, you and I are in the same boat, and probably the viewers or the listeners for a podcast. But do you catch yourself like looking at social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Yeah.
about what trending plants are there? So, like, say there's like a new plant release. All of a sudden, you already have all of these plants.
Exactly.
But then you want to go ahead and add that variegated monstera or and just some new release.
I'm much better with it now.
Okay.
I used to be like, let me go for it. But now I'm like, ooh, not unless it's something I definitely want. I'm not going to lie, if it's aglaonema.
Oh no, aglaonema, you
If
can
it's
go
an
ahead and fill it up.
aglaonema, I might still run and go get it.
That ends up being a need for you. huh?
Definitely a need.
Right.
But I have more self-control now.
Yeah, and speaking of needs, so in our segment, we're going to be having the want and needs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want to go ahead and just let the viewers we can just ask each other what plants?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Let's
do
start with
now.
that. Just a little quick 60-second thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little segment for
Yeah.
our thing. So a want is basically a plant that you can hold off on. It's just a want. That's something that you can save your money or you can, come back another day and see if that plant is still there. A need is something that we need
Today.
today. And so we're going to just ask some questions.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Let's pick a plant, right?
Okay.
Everybody pick a plant, have a
Okay.
plant in mind, and we go around and just see if that's something that is a want or a need. And it could be anything from a variegated plant to a basic plant. I mean, I hate to call them basic plants because
Basic is great. Basic
Basic
is
is
what
amazing.
we
We
need
love
our listeners.
basics.
Basic is great.
love
Keeping
basic
it down
plants.
to the basics.
Oh yeah. Okay, so who wants to start with that one? I mean,
Okay, I got one for Janeé.
Oh,
Monstera aurea.
oh. That's a want.
Okay.
And it's still on my wish list. I wasn't able to get one from PlantCom, but definitely a want. Not a need, but definitely a want. Those prices still need to trickle on down.
is
Yep.
that the reason
For
why?
my
Because the
pocketbook.
prices are
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so Richie,
Okay.
an alocasia variegated black velvet.
Oh, that's gonna be a want. The price is not right for me at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wish list plan, so you can
Yeah.
basically say it's a want. But yeah,
Yeah.
$295, I can't pop that
Hey,
money.
and how big is it, Richie?
It's just a little 3 inch.
It's
No,
about like this tall.
no, I
right?
could buy several. I don't need
Two-
all of
Okay.
that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
So many athletes.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness, Steve.
Yes.
Oh, the Epiprenum, was it Flame?
golden flame or
Golden
yellow
flame.
flame.
The yellow, yeah, the yellow flame.
Is
Okay,
that a
so
want or a need?
listen, so that's going to be a one for
Okay.
me. And I think the sort of like the round table discussion about wants and needs comes down to what's in your wallet and what's
That's
in your
true.
pocketbook, right?
That's true.
That plant is so damn expensive.
It is, and you know, I'm Filipino American, and so when you go to the Philippines at Epipremnum pinnatums, those things are literally
Just
weeds.
right.
Like literally,
Right
you can
outside
just go
your
to
door.
a coconut tree, whack it, and
I
it's
know.
done. You got yourself a little top cutting,
You want to
right?
hear something funny? So I just got back into the country a couple of weeks ago, and I was going through U.S. Customs, and they were telling you what you can't bring across the border.
What
you
did they
know?
tell you?
One of them was plant cuttings. I was like,
Plant
"Is-
cuttings?
I was like, excuse me. Well,
Wow.
you know, you have to claim it. You know what I'm saying?
What
Like
if you don't claim it? You just forgot.
Forgot, and
Sorry, it was in my
what are you gonna
suitcase.
do? It's already here.
Okay,
It's on
That's like a
US soil.
$20,000 U.S.
Fine.
fine. You forgot.
Okay.
You're gonna remember
I'll
this
fine
time.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, you're right about that. A lot of the plants that we think are specialty plants
Yeah.
here are,
They
are
grew like
technically not specialty plants someplace else, you know? And that, you know, speaking of going away, I had the privilege of going to Panama and Colombia, right? And you know, I'm a philodendron fanatic, and
Oh, I'm gonna get
philodendrons.
you on the philodendron on the knees.
Oh
in a
yeah, well,
second.
okay. But philodendrons are typically the plant of Central and South America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you will always find philodendrons every place, you know, that you see. And I actually had the privilege of speaking to who is a friend of mine, Javier, who owns Casa Philodendron in Panama City. So thank you for that, man. It was beautiful. These guys saw some of the photos from your shop.
love it.
You can't find plants like that sometimes
Yes.
in the States for a decent
So
price.
true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so that goes back to sort of like building your house collection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like, how do you want to start financially speaking? Like, do you want to put so much money into starting a collection and then, you know, you spend $100, $200 for a plant and then about a month or two later it dies
No,
because
well,
you
it didn't
really-
die. I went to plant heaven.
Okay, that's
And
right.
same thing with your all your dollars or
Right.
whatever currency you are.
Okay.
It's flying all the
It
way up to
It
heaven.
went to heaven. It went to plant heaven.
Yes.
But what's your idea on that? Because I think, you know, yeah, we see Instagram and YouTube and we look at these influencers with beautiful variegated plants. And variegated plants typically come with a price tag. Shit, I pay, well, my bad, but I paid $90 for a
Yeah.
Tycon, okay, that was marked down to $35 at
You
Kroger.
should have been watching my
Okay.
videos.
I know.
I found me some Tycons
I
for
know.
like $30
Seriously,
at Kroger.
the
So-
next month. The
Yeah,
next month.
literally.
And I
It
told you to
happens so
return
quick.
that plant.
I couldn't, and I told you the story, but we won't even go there because
Okay.
we ain't trying to be controversial in the first episode.
not on the
okay?
first episode. Go to the
anyway,
next one.
Right?
Y'all
But how
messy.
But how do you feel though about sort of like the cost benefit of starting the plant collection with, you know, something like a golden pothos as opposed
Yeah.
to something like a
Monster elbow.
mozzarella?
Exactly. Definitely do something that is more cost effective. Because, like you say, you don't want to start out and you're buying all these beautiful variegated plants. Yes, they're beautiful, but sometimes the care is a little bit more
Yeah.
than something like a pothos or a
Yeah.
snake plant or something like that. And you don't want to waste your money like that.
Not in the
We
beginning.
work too hard for our money, especially now that everything's going up.
It could be discouraging, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, a little bit too.
inflation is real.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, when you talk about inflation is real, it's also inflation in plants.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
reason why these plants are the priced at the way they are is because somebody's willing to pay it.
That's right.
If you
Yeah.
don't pay that price tag, then it's eventually going to go down. But you know, to go back on like the financials,
Yeah.
I always tell people, start yourself off, and we keep mentioning golden pothos. Yes, golden pothos. If you don't want to do a golden pothos, find something like a Dracaena. And I know y'all
Yeah.
are not even about the Dracaena.
I am. You
Okay,
know,
so
I
good.
took people
I have the
into
baby
Dracaenas.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then
Okay.
certain
And
philodendron. Philodendron are actually
Yeah.
forgiving.
Very
Just don't look for the
forgiving.
variegated
They are.
ones. Like, you know, something like that. And then when you talk about acclimating yourself, so you're talking about the routines and time you have, right, to care for a plant, the financials behind it, your lighting conditions and environment, and then you should do your research on that
Yes.
particular plant.
Yes.
What I learned from another seminar at Texas Aeroid Show out in Houston is you can Google search a plant's native environment, and then you can get a better idea of what that growing condition looks like.
So
Yeah.
true. So
So-
true. That's so true because home medics right
Yeah.
now, I'm keeping them in business this year with the amount of humidifiers that I got going on in my
I need to
house.
get another one.
And you know, but I think that's listen, researching plants,
Yeah.
and their proper environment is so important. You
due
know,
diligence.
because the good thing about shopping over at Plant Keeper was the fact that Garen didn't give me a plant that he did not think that I can take care of.
Yes, and I appreciate that.
You know what I
too.
mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to say that probably in my plant journey of 3 years or so, that I might have killed maybe 5 plants.
Chill.
That's it?
That's
Oh yeah, believe it or
You
not.
sent out a plant heaven?
I
Only
I
five?
sent 5 to Plant Heaven,
Then I
and I
wouldn't
can
even
tell
tell
you
you.
the first
Yeah.
one that I sent to Plant Heaven was, how did I do this? An Aglaonema Silver Bay.
You overwatered it.
Yeah.
You overwatered it.
I overwatered it. I overwatered the Aglaonema Silver Bay, and I overwatered the second plant was a money tree, Bachera
Bachera.
quadra.
Pobre
Yeah.
Steve.
Because guess what? I overwatered it.
So
Okay.
you talk about sending plants to plant heaven. I mean, look at this getup right here. I look like I'm about to go ahead and mug somebody, but
You
it's
look
really not
like
the case. I'm
the
really
Grim
just being
Reaper
face
right here.
okay.
Talk about picking up
But you know,
plants.
as far as like sending people to plant heaven,
Yeah, people.
I was gonna say people.
that too. Just kidding. No,
Plant.
so 14 casualties.
For you?
Yes, and guess what it is?
What?
My favorite Hydra Helix.
So wait, only 14?
Yeah, 14 Hedera Helix, but other plants as well. But I'm just saying in terms
Oh,
of
good.
the cereal plant killers.
Okay.
yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like,
Yes,
Oh, so
14
you-
English ivy. So if y'all don't know, it's really Hedera Helix. I
Yeah.
just mispronounced it. But yeah, 14 of them have been sent to plant heaven.
I mean, so you obviously have a type when you go after who you're trying
I
to.
mean, let's not go
Okay.
ahead and paint that picture. But yes, and that's the thing. I do a lot of big box store plant shopping videos, obviously, and I'm always shopping for like the best pricing you can get for plants.
Yeah.
Start yourself with an easy care plant, but then when you bring that plant into your home, I say, and I don't, Janeé, you give me or Steven give me this opinion. Before you add a second plant, I say give yourself a good 3 weeks. And I know that sounds like a long time because the plant excitement is real. Literally, you can be shopping, you're like, oh, I want to buy this plant.
Just
I want to
buy
put
them
this in the kitchen. I want to put this here, X, Y, and Z. And that's not the case. I say get your second or third plant when you see new signs of growth on the first original plant you
I
add to your
like that.
That's
collection.
good.
I like that.
That's when you know that that plant has actually like acclimated to your space.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And you can save a lot of money, especially if you have
That's
aglaonemas.
true.
That thing won't push out a leaf for at least a month.
I really like that. That's some really good advice.
Yeah.
It really is.
I didn't follow that. You know,
Yes.
like I told you, I was in, but like I said, I had somebody reel me in with plants that he knew that I could take care of. So if you don't have that,
Yeah.
that's a really
Yeah,
good
just
rule
wait
of
like
for
thumb.
new signs of like new growth, a new
Yeah.
leaf that unfurls. And if you really want to take it to another level, wait till the leaf actually unfurls and hardens.
That's good advice.
So, quick question for you guys, right? Because we briefly talked about being overwhelmed a little bit earlier, right? How do you get out of that? I think, Janeé, you mentioned something with it's somewhat of like a self-talk of you don't have to hit every single plant in one day, right? Like you don't have to take care, especially if your collection is 10 or more.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about every single one of them. Is there anything else that you guys use in order to get yourself back in love with the process of taking care of plants?
Call me crazy, but repotting a plant.
Potting.
Yeah.
Getting into the I don't know,
reset.
the soil,
Yeah.
the roots.
Yeah.
I don't know. It like keeps me grounded in a way.
Yeah.
And then then it's like, oh, okay, I like doing this.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah. What about you, Richie?
I think for me to get out of like, plant burnout is giving yourself grace, forgiving yourself. allowing that plant to go to plant heaven. If you feel like you can't save everybody, you need to save yourself first.
Yeah.
And that means if you save yourself first in a sense that you are back in the game, but you had to take a couple of plant casualties to go to plant heaven, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a learning experience, and then you'll know that that impulse buy probably wasn't the best idea, but then you can reset yourself. But I think forgiveness, because I've allowed myself to let certain plants have to go
Yeah.
to plant heaven. Otherwise, it's just gonna stress you out. It's gonna eat you alive. It's just gonna do a lot of things that are just not really good for you.
That's true.
Yeah. You guys know that I name every single plant that walks past my threshold, and I say walks past it as if they're doing it themselves because I personify the plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I gave them a name.
Yes.
So for me, when I feel overwhelmed, like I remember that there was a point in time when there was an excitement about having that plant come through the door.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm up to about maybe 75 plants right now.
I love hearing that.
Me
We
too.
can get you to 100.
Hey, let me tell you
No,
something.
hey,
Let
I
me
mean,
tell you
I
something.
know you and I are in triple
Yeah,
digits.
y'all are in triple digits now. I'm trying to catch up. You know,
We can make that real quick.
I know y'all can.
Seriously.
You give me a few
do,
cuttings
okay.
so that goes
Well,
to
that-
both those. You know what I mean? But I think it just reminds me of like I'll look at some of my plants. I'll walk around and say, "Oh, cherry wine, you're looking good today, right?" And
Do that too.
and literally, that is something that helps me get out of the funk.
Yeah.
A plant care because it's like I'm really, really taking care of it. And I actually just recently did a video on just plants kind of sensing your presence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you start to look at it like that, and it could be, you can think I'm crazy, and maybe I am for thinking that, but this is what kind of
I
gets
mean,
me
plant
through
people are crazy.
a little
Okay.
bit.
Can we all get a like? I think can we all get a like or a comment for that? We're all plant
Like a
crazy.
good crazy.
That's a
Yes,
bit
a bit crazy.
But it does help with bringing me back to, oh yeah, that's right. I care about these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Well, I guess so as we wrap up, all in all, final thoughts on or final words of advice for someone who is starting a new collection and what to do.
Yeah. Start slow. Start slow. See if you like it.
Yeah.
Right? Because
That's true.
I mean, I always say this. Look, it's all about what you like. And if you like it, there's a chance that you can be really, really good at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like my self-discovery with plants was, hey, this is actually pretty cool. This is actually pretty fun. And, I spoke my passion to other friends and they were like, just keep up with this. And, but it all started with me starting with things that somebody knew that I can take care of
Yeah.
that were easy.
I think my biggest advice would be don't follow trends.
Oh,
Go
that-
Don't follow
too.
trends.
Yeah.
That's the way we end up growing a plant collection because we want to, collect every variegated plant, every single plant within the genus. Don't follow trends. Do it for yourself and keep it basic. Basic is great. In a
Basic is
cultivation
good.
corner, we love basic.
Love it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
That's
What about you,
true.
Janeé? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Just to piggyback off of both of y'all, like, don't follow the trends and just take it slow.
yep.
Yeah.
Because in the end, the plants are going to be there. You can always just go back and buy it. Like, it's going to be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, FOMO is real, but it's not that real when it comes to your money. I mean, if you have money just throw away like that, you don't care, go ahead.
I
for
mean,
it.
you could drop it
It's
for
got
us
it.
too. You
You got it.
Okay.
go ahead and put that little super sticker, super thanks.
Super thing.
Super thanks. Something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm very excited. And next time we're going to be talking about a lot of just some good Christmas planty gifts
Oh,
for people. Not even necessarily just plants, but also accessories. So I'm looking forward to that episode.
I know that episode is going to be really, really fun, you guys. Gifting plants is always the
Yes.
best. It really is. Brings
Love
a smile to
gifting
people's
plants.
face.
Well, you know what? This is Richie,
Steven?
Janae.
and we are
Cultivation Corner.
On the next episode of Cultivation Corner.
You need that today.
Today.
I'm so serious. It is the holiday season, and we're ready to splurge
Yeah.
on some plants.